I call cappuccino. People say this shit useless. I say they don't know what they're talking about. People say this is garbage. Well, call me Ratatouille because I eat garbage for breakfast and my taste buds are refined. People say stupid shit a lot, then other people listen to it and it becomes the truth. That's how life works. But I'm larger than life, I'm smarter than these people, and I'm smarter than you. Be grateful that you've got a pretty face and a nice cake, because otherwise I wouldn't be so nice to you. Anyways, Urara, Uranus, Akihabara, Yunara. So this is Riot Games' newest cash cow, but man, look at this fucking skin. First of all, she kind of looks like Colette from fucking Ratatouille. Second of all, since its showcase, I've been consistently hitting 5 wanks per hour to this skin alone, and I'm not planning to stop anytime soon. But even though I'm the one releasing all the semen, I ain't the biggest gooner here, mate. Because if you open the internet, the global system of interconnected computer networks that uses the Internet Protocol Suite to communicate between networks and devices since 1983, you will witness the following picture. Bunch of unemployed, sexist droolers calling my fucking waifu useless. Worse Zeri. Hotfix, please. Now, these guys are stupid. They don't play the game well. They don't think too well either. They don't see the potential. But I do. But we do. We, true gamers with triple-digit IQ and single-digit dick size, know better. And today, I'm gonna prove it to you. Today, I'm gonna show you just what this champion is capable of. And fuck it, mate. I would not be surprised if this champion actually gets nerfed once people find out how to effectively pilot her. Now, without further ado, let's fucking ball, man.
Oh, I see. You must be maidenless.
Now, Yunara's abilities are actually very unique as for an ADC, which might be one of the reasons she hasn't been solved yet. Playing her requires a certain level of creativity, despite how simple she might seem. Now, let's talk her abilities first. Her passive is brain dead simple. Her crits deal additional magic damage, which has insane AP scaling, but I still think that building her AP is probably bait. Like, the crit part is the important piece of information. Next comes her Q, which is her everything. Like, this is basically what this champion stands on. Think of it like Ashe's Q. So you hit stuff and gain stacks on your Q, 1 stack for minions and such, 2 stacks for champions, and at 8 stacks you can activate this ability, making her auto attacks faster and more damaging. And they also send something like a static zap along the nearby enemies. This ability is insane. The damage boost lets you do unspeakable things to enemies. This is very much punishable by law, and you will be jailed for using it against underage champions. This you have to remember. W is fucking sexy too, by the way. So in and of itself, it might not seem like an insanely good ability, but in context of bot lane, this is nuts. What it does, Yunara throws a projectile that goes rather far actually, and applies 99% slow to the first target hit. This thing alone can negate ganks, but it's twice as useful with an engage support. So this is a guaranteed Morgana's Q, Nautilus hook, Rel's engage, stuff like that. This is how you force your opponents to stand and take your damage straight to the face, and it's a really good ability. Now her E, which honestly has to be one of the most underrated abilities in the game now, because it's very good in my opinion. This feels like Soldier's shift run from Overwatch. If you know, you know. Use it all the time off cooldown, basically. It gives you decaying movement speed, 50% more movement speed if running towards an enemy. This in combination with PD makes you really hard to run away from. We'll come back to that later. And finally, her ultimate, which I wouldn't think of as an upgrade of her basic abilities, even though it is an upgrade of her basic abilities, but bear with me. When Yunara activates her ultimate, her basic abilities upgrade/change. Okay, so her Q automatically becomes active, which is a straight up upgrade. Her W becomes a beam that deals significant damage and slows the enemy, which is also a straight up upgrade. And now there's her E, which now instead of a speed up becomes a dash, allowing her to dash over the walls, and I wouldn't call this an upgrade in every situation actually. Her basic E lasts for up to 2.5 seconds. That often allows you to maneuver way better than with just 2 dashes, which is the amount of dashes you can usually do during one duration of the ultimate. Now both are useful, and also you should be using E before activating the ultimate because it resets the cooldown. But what I'm saying is that the way you play her somewhat changes when you use her ultimate, which makes it similar to form switch on champions such as Nidalee, Jayce or Elise. And I'll come back to this later as well, because now I want to touch upon the biggest fucking weakness of this champion, is that people don't know how to fucking itemize this shit. So most people I've seen playing this champion usually follow a suboptimal build path, something like Yun Tao into Infinity Edge. But I don't consider this to be the optimal pathing, and that's why I started going Kraken into fucking Phantom Dancer in 2025. And let me explain why that is actually broken. So Yunara is a lot like Caitlyn. They have the same long attack range and also the same movement speed, which is 325 and is below average for an ADC, which is fine for Caitlyn. I mean, Caitlyn aims to hit you with a single powerful shot from a distance to take half of your HP, or like more than a half. Caitlyn's also got traps and a short dash, so the movement speed doesn't impact her as much, and the attack range makes up for the below average mobility. She comes in range, she hits, she runs, boom. Now Yunara functions a bit differently. Yunara wants to have a prolonged fight, preferably against multiple enemies to maximize the effectiveness of her Q, something like Jinx. And that movement speed fucking sucks, because she can't fucking catch anyone with it, especially in her ultimate, because if you use E before ultimate, you get like 2 seconds of speed up, and then go back to bitch ass basic movement speed. And those 2 dashes do fuck all when you slow as hell when you come out of them. You can't catch anyone. People can just wait out your ultimate because they know you can't keep up with them. Something that can't always be done with someone like Vayne, because you know, she gets movement speed and dashes to help her force you to fight her. And that's when the movement speed from Kraken and PD comes in fucking clutch, because now you can force people to fight you and you can run them down if they decide to escape. The movement speed that you get from those 2 items plays a huge fucking role. Yunara doesn't have a damage problem or a range problem, she has a speed problem. She needs speed, she's slow as fuck. So that's why I believe Kraken into PD to be the optimal build. And also Kraken does one other thing that makes her goated. So anywhere I went, I saw people complaining about how fucking garbage her early game is, and instantly in my first game on the champion, I was convinced that lobotomy became mandatory, because what the fuck do you mean by we? Her Q pretty much lets her out damage fucking anyone early game, especially if you build Kraken. Now that does delay your 4 items power spike because you lose out on crit, but at the same time you don't need crit to kill on this champion. Like, her base damage with her Q is already high as fuck. If anything, I think she becomes worse late game, because the only thing that she's always gonna be shit at is surviving. Assassin's fucking wreck you, which kind of applies to most ADCs, but in her case it's even more pronounced. She has very little survivability, but that just means you have to be extra careful on her, and you do kind of rely on your teammates to peel you, but that's just bot lane for you snowflakes. Okay, now I'm gonna show you a few clips I've got from playing this champion for a while, as well as a few tool tips so you can go out there and ruin some people's gaming sessions, either by fucking them over with an OP champion or by running it down with the aforementioned OP champion. Don't let anyone tell you what to do, and enjoy. Okay, first off, a quick tutorial on how to pick the new champion trademark in ranked. Step 1, hover a viable character so teammates think you're an NPC like them. Step 2, ask for first pick. Use some build up aura if needed, but most goons in Emerald need very little convincing. Okay, now the big brain move. Step 3, hover ban the new champion. Now all the goons think you're gonna handle the obligatory banning of the new champion trademark, so they needn't worry about it. 4, let those idiots ban whatever bullshit they usually ban. Step 5, ban something that is actually fucking good. Step 6, pray that the enemy team doesn't ban or pick the new champion trademark. Step 7, profit. And with this method, you double your chances of getting to play the new champion. Now rinse and repeat. Yunara's early game is pretty support dependent. Now, I've heard people say that she does better with enchanters, which is true, but honestly, in my experience, any support with a pair of seeing eyeballs and 2 functional claws will do the trick no matter the champion. Enchanters let you live longer mid-game, engage supports let you bully your opponents. Both are fine, really. Damage supports like Zyra and Brand are the most useless for you. But even then, if they do their job of making the enemy bot lane fucking suffer, it will suffice. One thing you must pay extra attention to in early game is your Q stacks. These fuckers aren't easy to maintain. Think of them like Draven axes. So if you sense an incoming fight or trade, keep those stacks by hitting the minions just when they're about to start running out. They don't instantly evaporate when the timer goes off, but instead quickly decay, which still allows you to stop them from going back to 0 for a little while, so the timing on these is quite forgiving. Another thing to remember about Yunara's early game is your long gas auto attack range that allows you to touch your opponents inappropriately from a distance. In this clip, for example, my autos took half the HP of the enemy bot lane and jungle before they could even get in range of their attacks. Easy money, mate. By the way, after this epic fight, Askana got mad over some bullshit and went AFK to go watch his girlfriend's best friend fucking defile her in the most extravagant ways possible. He later bought the McFlurries and thanked him for treating her so damn well, after which he most likely fallen asleep in a puddle of his own fucking semen after masturbating viciously to the video his girlfriend posted on her fucking OnlyFans. Don't be like this Kana. What was I saying? Oh yeah, your W is a fucking godsend. The 99% slow pretty much always guarantees that the enemy won't be able to simply walk away from your damage. One more thing about it is that it has a really long range. Most people won't expect it to go as far as it goes, letting you finish off unsuspecting low HP enemies with a single long-ass skill shot. Pretty fucking useful. Okay, Yunara's first item, Power Spike. Once you get your Kraken, your Q starts fucking shredding through enemies like paper. People will underestimate your damage with this. This is like Master Yi's level 6 all-in, but on a ranged champion. This is when this champion actually becomes broken. Yunara is really good at catching enemies off position. So in this clip, enemy Pantheon trolls by ulting and thus giving us a few seconds where we can 2v1 the enemy Samira. And by the time he gets to use his abilities on me, Samira is already fucking dead. And now, even without my Q, Pantheon can do fuck all. One more reason why I fucking love having an aggressive support when playing Yunara is because of how easy it is for you to follow up their engage. Your E grants you movement speed as well as ghosting. So when most characters would have to move around a minion wave, thus leaving their support 2v1 and sacrificing half or more of their HP, Yunara can follow up any successful engage pretty much instantly, and that is just lovely. And then we get to two items, and for me the best second item for most situations is Phantom Dancer. Now, not many champions nowadays build that, but because we're playing a motherfucking ADC, you need that movement speed to live. You have no shields, no healing, no heart CC, so for you to survive in a fight, you must fucking keep moving. And because you lose access to your speed up when in your ultimate, the additional movement speed from items gives you the agency to not fall off mid-game, and has the additional bonus of making you a damn good duelist. In your ultimate form, with two items, most champions without point-and-click CC will have a hard time of getting to you or escaping from you. Your W slows down bruisers trying to catch you, which lets you shred through them while they try to close the distance. And against mages, you make yourself a difficult target to hit while stopping them from escaping with your W ability. Obviously, there's a certain problematic class that doesn't really allow you to enjoy the game at all, fucking ass Ians, but you've chosen this fate. In conclusion, where would I put Yunara on a theoretical tier list? How good is the champion in comparison to the rest of the roster? As for an ADC, I honestly believe she might be S tier, or maybe like high A. When exploited to the fullest in the right team comp and against a team with little point and click damage, I believe she's very much competitive, and you should fucking give her a try. But if you don't main ADC and thinking of trying her out on bot lane, don't fucking bother. Man, I swear, this lane is a crime against humanity. It feels fucking hopeless. Like, there isn't a single context where I'd rather be a fucking marksman on bot lane than any other lane. And unfortunately, Yunara is a horrible fucking solo laner. She requires setup, which she, unfortunately, cannot do herself. She's an ADC purist champion, and I just cannot imagine trying to climb on this fucking role. The amount of games where I got fed and still ended up losing because my role is designed to die in pain is obnoxious, honestly. I love ADC mechanics, but it feels like such a scam trying to be proactive and useful when you're limited by your role. I don't know how you ADC mains do it, and honestly, I don't feel like going through all this to find out. But how do you like this champion? What's shit and what's bonkers? You can tell me down in the comment section. For now, thank you for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, feel free to touch and then click the like button. If you didn't, I'll see you in court. If you like correct opinions and brain-dead YouTubers, subscribe to the channel and share this video with fellow crackheads. It was me, Walrus. Again, thank you for watching. Have a jolly good day. Goodbye.